Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Immersive Experience, a podcast about you, for you, from you. Tonight, we call this session the wind down. And I have a topic that somebody had brought up to me that we're going to talk about. I think it's a really interesting topic. And I have my mom off in the background who's going to talk to me about this situation. Hold on, let me find her. Ooh, working these Androids is terrible.
I'm talking about my phone.
I'm not talking about your phone. I'm talking about my ability to work an iPhone. Yeah, what you said. Alpha, yeah, an Android, and I don't have the ability. So I think that's the bigger problem. Talk about. I think it's real. Working these Androids is terrible. I'm not talking about your phone. I'm talking about my ability to work an iPhone. There you go.
Is it on mute?
I don't know how to put that on mute. You might want to turn it down. All right. So, this is a podcast about you, for you, from you. And tonight we call this the wind down. And the topic we are talking about is, do you believe Black women are the least protected? And in what ways have we contributed to this narrative?
Oh, I think that we are at least protected. You know, like in my era when I was coming up, we was not protected because I was raised up, in Chicago, and it was a single parent, household, and my mother, she had 7 kids, and I don't think that we were protected at all. Nothing personally happened to me, but in our community, we had all kind of pedophiles, perverts, and I mean they were just everywhere. And so, um, my mom, she didn't talk about how to present myself as a woman. She didn't even talk to me about my period. She didn't talk about um, to grow up and be a strong, amazing, woman. None of that was done. So, and I think it stemmed from, what happened to her, as her mother had raised her. So, and that's just my personal experience.
Okay. I agree because I believe societal structures often overlook our needs. And I do, like you said, I think our historical roles in the Black community have also taught us to be strong and self reliant. So I do think that that helps still play in the narrative of, okay, we still remain the unprotected female. At first, it was at the hand of a third party. So, but because we never talked about that trauma, because we never were taught how to navigate it, now it's more of, okay, now we still got to figure out this shit while we raising somebody else too. So, and then while you still battling your shit, you trying to raise your kids and they see you battling your own shit and inherently pick up the same bad habits as you go along. Because, like you said, even with your mama, like, it's just the way that she handled you. It's just the way that she treated you. I think that a lot of things can come from like a reverse teaching. Why do you think that you haven't like? Do you think that you found a place where you could feel like you're protected through other people, or?
Yeah, I found myself being protected. First of all, I didn't want to be like her because I didn't understand her as a mom who couldn't say I love you. And in my community, I used to see young girls' moms say they love them, and they're laughing and happiness. And my mom was kind of odd and different, And I was like, when I grow up, I'm not gonna treat my kids the way she treated, us, and I don't want to be like her. I was too scared that I was going to turn into being like her. And so I became, I picked up, being a giving person, a loving person, and stuff like that. Not saying my mom wasn't like that, but she didn't show it toward us.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think that we could possibly do as women to fix that type of trauma?
Oh my gosh. Self observation is always good. There's nothing wrong with going to counseling, talking to God. I talk to God a lot. Believing in myself. Um, Sometimes trauma is hard to get over, and it just seems to latch on you like a what do you call it, a leech, But you just gotta pull it off and throw it in the ocean and just keep moving. But and if you got deep trauma, I mean, because you want to feel empowered, you just really got to do some soul searching and close the doors to the past. Is some of the things that we can do to heal.
I agree with that. Do you think that if we work together more often, do you think we would be able to heal the trauma then that way as well?
Well, there has been so many groups that women have successfully came together
Mm-hmm.
and have talked about their trauma. I mean, they have all kinds of trauma groups for everything, and so yeah, I think coming together and expressing yourself in a safe uh, arena, a safe atmosphere, where you feel like you won't be judged because of what happened to you in your past, but to be able to release that hurt. Yeah, I think it's like releasing a dove or something. Something amazing starts to happen, and you step into your own being.
Okay, okay. So, what do you think it was like for you stepping into your own being, finding your own brand? Like,
I'm still excited about finding myself. I'm
okay.
still so excited. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Words cannot even express coming from where I come from. I talk a lot about the Robert Taylor projects and how there was really no male, role model. My uncle, he was amazing and he was the bomb. But within the framework of where I when I was raised, there were men who were drinking and drugging and gang banging, and it was all of that. That was a lifestyle. That was the lifestyle, and everybody was smoking weed and drinking Bacardi and drinking moonshine and just doing all kind of things, and so it was a trench, but it was a normal trench because everybody did it.
Right.
And then to look back and say, wow, you know this is where I come from, and I may not be where I want to be at, but I realize that I am somebody that's amazing and awesome and fantastic. I could put those labels on me now, you know, instead of, all the other labels that I carried with me, and they was, a big heavy load.
Mm-hmm.
I don't carry those labels anymore. I carry what I know about me. And coming into the reality of me as a human being, and my super strength that I have, which is most definitely love, and the fruit of the spirit, stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
helps me out a whole lot, and I just like that person who I am, so yeah.
Can I ask you, like now that you're older, you understand what protection doesn't look like? What do you want protection to look like for you?
What do I want protection to look like for me?
Hmm. If somebody said, "Oh, I want to protect you," what would that look like?
Oh, wow. They would have to accept me for who I am. They would have to love me. Um, just let me know that I have a good security. My only protection I have right now is Christ Jesus. So they need to come with those qualities.
Okay, so being able to meet you where you are,
Hmm.
basically being able to be patient with you,
right.
someone who can see your insecurities or your I don't know,
And I
call
try
it
to use them against
yeah,
me,
yeah. So I
and
think I think
belittle me or whatever.
yeah, but I think
Take
that's
my kindness for weakness, or think I'm some kind of poop butt lady,
yeah.
that type of thing like that. See the God in me,
Mm-hmm.
see the entrepreneur in me, walk with me, tell me, I think you could do this, or be the one behind the camera to help me make that move,
Mm-hmm.
like they would turn this angle, turn that, things like that, or in my age now, travel, just chill.
Okay, okay. Do you so I was talking earlier to a guy. He was telling me that everything these days are so like disingenuous basically. Nothing you find is genuine. And so he was basically saying, like, even with online interactions and different things like that. So, how would you navigate through people who are disingenuine or not genuinely themselves in order to keep yourself protected?
I just don't, I just don't fool with them really. Basically, you know, you give them a chance,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but then, you know, I have a certain heightened awareness about myself, and I'm looking at you, and the red flags will come up, not that I'm trying to judge an individual or anything like that, but I don't know. They sometimes they just they don't know how to lay it out. They just looking for things. They're so superficial nowadays. There is no. It's sad to say. I don't know where the genuality is at. You know. I don't know. It's just scary out there. Like you always say, I'm scary, so I stay
uh,
scary.
what's your take on why folks often put on a mask instead of showing their true self?
That's a good question. To fit in.
Mm-hmm.
Some people put on the mask to fit in. Some people put on the mask to hide their past. Some people put on the mask to hide their hurt. They don't want nobody to know actually what they're going through. But a mask is what you say it is. It's a mask. It does not take care of the deep down, trauma or the hurt or the pain. You just masking it.
Right.
You're saying you want to be like somebody, and you know, taking your money and spending it all on this beautiful stuff, but you just being broke after you go do it, or it's all phony.
Okay.
The authenticness is good, even though I still wear a perm. Uh,
You know, I still live
but I like my soul. You know, I love my soul.
but a lot of people, well, I know I felt like this even like authenticity can make you feel really vulnerable. So for me, it was hard navigating like the authenticity. I mean, I eventually came into my own, but like just being able to like, like Kareem Bailey Ray say, like, girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song.
Right.
Like it was hard to really get into that type of mood where you just kind of like, okay, well, forget it because I'm just gonna be me. I'm gonna just do me. And because you're always met with so many different opinions of how you should be or how you should look or talk or and I think that was the hardest thing. I think for me it was more of a fear of judgment, a fear of rejection, really. So it was easier to wear a mask, and not necessarily a mask, but just hold back from who who I was, like who I really was, because I didn't know how to be.
I think you being here has taught me a great, valuable lesson. You coming to Florida, you do have a major authenticity about yourself. And it's like, okay, this is Desiree. Let me see what's going on with this daughter. And you helped me. And I'm gonna tell you how you help me is because, being a Christian woman, or just Christians in general, and I can use myself. We could judge people. We could put all these people in the box about their lifestyle and how they look and how they dress and all that kind of stuff like that. That's not what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And with you being here, I've learned that. You know, I just take you for who you are. You, my daughter, I love you. If you want to wear your shorts, you wear them. You look good in them. You know, and people look at you like you crazy. But the being original, having your own originality. I want to push you in a way to where you just proud of yourself. I mean, you don't need for me to tell you that, but that's the way I feel. You taught me a great big lesson. Just love them for who they are. And some, 'cause I'm the mama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I got some little rigid ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got some little rigid ways. And so, but I just, the originality of you and your podcast and what you do and stuff like that. You talk a lot.
I do talk a lot. I talk to everybody a lot too.
And I'm so glad because I know your journey. We have an amazing connection from soul to soul,
Mm-hmm.
from womb to 33 years.
Okay.
We have that. And so I do know some excerpts of your life. I do know some things about you. And just because we have that connection, I've learned to accept you for who you are. And
what do you think self-development is?
Self-development, the framework of self-development is amazing because you have these compartments of yourself that you have to really start looking at and taking apart because you can't do it in a whole setting. You have to take what's my personality, what's my character, why do I get angry sometimes, why am I like this, because your conscience is going to speak to you and tell you about yourself. Whether you want to change it or not, that's up to the individual. But when you start getting enlightened about yourself, man, you take on a whole new dimension, period.
I agree with that. I wrote down that self-development is a journey towards authenticity,
Yeah.
which it's about peeling back the layers, the facades we've built up over time due to societal expectations or personal fears.
Mm-hmm.
It's about confronting who we truly are with all our strengths and weaknesses and accepting ourselves. This acceptance gives us the courage to present our true selves to the world without the need for a mask. It's a process, not a destination. As we grow and evolve, so does our understanding of ourselves. It's a constant journey of self discovery, self acceptance, and self improvement, and that's the beauty of it. Oh, hey, Nunu. Hey, Miss Cosby.
Hey.
My mom says hello. But that's what self-development is for me. I think that's why I'm so big on self-development. I think the way I feel is how I back myself or how I'm able to be so confident is the self-development that I've taken the time to develop myself, to improve myself, to see the places where I am falling short and at least try walking towards something. I don't always make it. We know that's the human in us. That's the not being disciplined in me. And just be honest, I'm not that disciplined. So for me, I think it's those types of days. And even when I do have the days where I feel like I'm on the floor, it's just me simply reminding myself of what the hell I done been through. How I had to pick myself up 1,000,001 times and understanding my strength. I understand where I am right now. Okay, yeah, you having a mentally low day, but that's just you having a mentally low day.
Right.
That don't never change my value. It don't never change or take away from who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's always about if ain't nobody pouring into you, And the only way you think that you can grow is if somebody pouring into you. But you don't got nobody that's filling up your vessel. You got to pour into yourself. At what point? And I had to figure that out because there was a lot of times where I put myself in other people's hands, and you'll be like, okay, now water me. But don't know water be falling. They be dropping bricks on your ass. I don't know what the hell they be doing. But like, you be thinking like, okay, I trusted you. And I think we could do that with parents. Because you're my mom, I'm already putting this expectation on you because this is what society has shown us. As a mom, you should be able to provide for me. You should be able to take care of me. You should be able to give me a place to stay, show me love, handle your shit, handle my shit, handle the world shit, and come back and still be okay. But you don't take into account my feelings. You don't take into account the struggles that I'm feeling, the days that I'm having. And it's textbook to say, oh yeah, just get back up and do it all over again. But you be tired. Like, yeah, I did do it that last time, but god dang, when I did it, I never recovered. I'm tired. And you'll be tired for the rest of your life. And that's where I was. I think that's where I was for a long time, just like tired, just fuck it all. And I'm still fuck it all. Fuck it all. Like, I don't know if that'll ever change, but it is. It's always been that for me. Like, just fuck all that shit.
You was angry. You was an angry girl.
Angry?
Yeah.
I would not say that I was
dissatisfied or something.
No, I would say more so I could see I was hurt. Hurt and anger is the first emotion that covers it. Right. And the only reason why I say hurt is simply because it's a place of me always being in places where I expect a person to say, well, you'll say, oh, you know me. But then when I show you me, it's a problem. And I say that all the time. Right. It's kind of like, oh, I see you, I see you, I see you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Trinae. Where they say, like, he told me I look so good. So I think it's really one of those things where I heard a person, they just tell me, oh, I know who you are. And then with you knowing who I am and then attacking me for being who I am, right. It hurts. Because it's more, but it only hurts because it's a thing where it's kind of like, okay, this my fault because I believed in your words and I didn't trust your actions. But your actions proved to be different from the words that you was given. So that's how I see it. Yeah, you attack me all the time. What are you talking about? You're an attacker. But no, I think that's where a lot of things stem from for me. Because it's like, okay, I trusted you. I trusted you based off your word. You said that you understood. You said that you know me. You said that you, all of these things. And then when it really come down to it, you didn't know anything.
Like, what the hell?
Yes. And that's how people, Lord. And they called you for the shit that they knew you were capable of. Yeah. But when they did the shit to you, it's a problem when you react how you normally react. Oh, why would you do that? Why would you do that to me? I mean, well, why would you do what you did to me? Did you know this how I react? You called me 50 million times to go off on somebody for you. You called me 50 times to be petty for you. Like, how you expecting something different? Oh, it's because we supposed to be friends, or oh, it's because we supposed to be family. Right. Nah, fuck that. You cross me, you. Ha. Talking about
what it is.
Nah, for real. No profanity. I'm sorry. This is not a PG-13. This TVMA. But no, so I always think that self-development is really important. Even if we thinking about how we think about the Black women being the least protected, taking that time to go into yourself, find out what you need, where you can answer the question of what do I need to be protected? What makes me feel like I'm comfortable in the situation. So now that when I'm in a situation, I'm not always having to look over my shoulder. I'm not always having to watch my back. I can trust the person I'm with because they understand me enough to take care of me. That's like if I was a quadriplegic or something and you had to take care of me, but every time it was your time to pick me up, you dropped me. Like, I feel like, oh no, get somebody else up in here. I don't want her picking me up anymore. Like, you know, because you taught me how you handle me. By every time you came in there, whether it was 3 times, you dropped me. Like, and I'm like, and I'm scared because the experiences that I've had with you have scared me because you haven't showed me that you were strong enough to carry me.
I think one of the most powerful things about women now, black women now, we've learned to not depend on people to protect us. We protect ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, of course, you know, we may have a little vulnerability here and there, but we've learned to protect ourselves because in a lot of instances, life has taught us that you on your own, baby. You on your own.
Yeah.
And you better make this happen. Either you gonna sink or fail. One of the um, psychologists, I forget his name, he said, only the strongest survive. You know, so you got to be strong and you got to survive and you got to come through. And yeah, things in life they hurt, but if you waking up in the morning and when my feet touch the floor, and I'd be so happy and I'd be like, something's good is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm breathing, I'm moving it, and you know, and in this day of time, you know, you gotta be strong. You gotta protect yourself. You gotta protect your babies. You know, you just can't be a wayward, you know, woman and just be out there flying by the seat of your pants.
I believe that. Cedric said, speak, Deacon. You could be a mirror, a Myra. What? It's a it's a clip. It's a link on YouTube of a lady doing a what is that thing called? American Idol audition. She's doing the American Idol audition. And she said, I think I could be an admirer. And they was like, oh wait, an admirer. I'll have to show you the video so you could be in on our joke.
Oh, okay.
Most people who went to college with me, they know what it is. How do you stay in the process and not fretting over a destination?
I live in gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
and not fretting over the well, in a sense, in the minute sense, I do fret over the destination, and within that framework of destination is my success, is my finances, is my paying the bills, you know, just different stuff like that. But with the overall coming together of me, you know, because I have to really bring myself in as one. Um, Man, I have gratitude. I'm so happy to be in today and now.
Okay, okay. So, what would you leave with the people about taking into their own hands their own protection? And how would they go about being protected if they see themselves as unprotected?
I think they would have to just look at the situations that they're going through in their life and just start. You know, I do a lot of writing and I do a lot of posting around the house.
Yeah.
And those are things that I have to remind myself of, you know, because sometimes you can forget because the way of life issues can weigh you down. But then when you have something to remind you of, we could call it the affirmation, you know. I have it written all over the house and some in my dreams and my visions and things that I want to do. I think that's one way. I think one of the most important ways a person can protect themselves, and this is my personal resource, is to trust Christ Jesus and to, you know, just because there's so much, you know, to offer. He has to offer us as a human being, you know, and practice it. And then, you know, just love on people. People, you know when you can help and you know when you can't. But it doesn't hurt to give a smile. It doesn't hurt to give a cup of coffee or a soda or a bag of chili, whatever, you know. Give a part of you. Be a part of a community and give too, you know. So, you know, deep searching, self-evaluation is always good because if you find a dark spot in your soul, you got to get rid of it. Because and I'm gonna stop talking. Uh, but the Bible says, leaven. I can't even quote it. A little leaven, leave it a whole lump. A little leaven, leave it a whole lump. That means that if you have something going on or you just starting it and you kind of like it and you know that it's not right, whatever it may be, it turns into a lump if you continue to keep fooling with it. But if you diffuse the lump, if you diffuse the levy, just a little levy of it, then you won't be heading toward that road of destruction.
And that just put me in the mind of thermodynamics, because it's called entropy, I believe it is. And that's when you leave energy unchecked. And what how I like to use it in the term to refer to it is when black people sweep things under the rug, and it kind of just grow. And I feel like we'll look back 10 years from now and we'll start thinking like, oh, my mom didn't protect me because my uncle touched me, or oh my brothers didn't protect me when all them men was beating up on me, or all of these things. But then I think in the same sense we have to look at it in the sense of we didn't check on ourselves.
Well, things happen in the past that sometimes the individual has no control over. Mm-hmm. But as they get older, because we can't keep on blaming the hurt, what the person did to us. Forgiveness is like it's like magic, you know. And it's not for that person; it's for you. Mm-hmm. You know, but then you have, because if we live in that unforgiveness of what somebody did to us, we're going to continue to be hurt, and it's like cancer. It'll eat us away, and we'll take it into the next relationship. We'll take it with people where we meet. It'll become a common character inside of us to, blame people for what happened for the past, and they call it unconsciously. Yeah. Because it has just become a part of our character and our personality. So forgiveness is a key. It's really
so you got to learn to forgive yourself too, because you can't beat yourself up for when you was 5 and couldn't stop somebody from taking advantage of you. Yeah. But you can walk in with the new attitude of, hey, I don't deserve this anymore. I do deserve somebody who knows how to protect me, who can see me where I'm at, and help me level up. I think that we focus on the negative so much.
And we are our biggest critics. Yeah. I'm just, really realizing how beautiful I am and sexy I am.
Oh, it took you that long to realize it?
I knew I was, but, I just had so much other stuff going on.
Because like I tell people, if I told you so as a person, it'd be me.
Oh, my gosh.
It'd be me. I'm sorry. But I told you so.
Yeah. And I just love me. I'm a bubbly, I'm not. I respect me. I learn to respect yourself.
Okay.
Learn to respect yourself.
You want respect from other people. You gotta
within your own self. Learn to level up your own self. Learn to level up your own mind, and just keep going. Because every day I just always be thinking I'm not conceited, But every day I'm always thinking about me. What can I do, to make me a better person for me? Mm-hmm. Because if I make myself a better person for me, it's gonna. What they call it, it's gonna come out. It's gonna permeate out of me.
Yeah.
And it's gonna get you'll get some peace, you'll get some love, you'll get a smile, because I believe in what, I mean, I have no money or anything like that, but I believe in the wholeness of me.
Right.
I like that.
Okay, I like that too. It reminds me of the quote: our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Right. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Yeah. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented? Actually, who are you not? You playing small. What? She went off. She's also running for president. I don't know if you guys know that or not. The lady who wrote that quote, she was running. I think she's part of the Democratic Party, though. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you liked my lashes tonight, they're from I Extend by MK. They so nice and fluffy, you guys. Like, I love them. I really do. They long, but you can't really like feel them. So I'm gonna drop a link for y'all so y'all can go and shop her. I share her stuff on my page all the time, but make sure you on the lookout for her. Of course, she also does wholesale, so you guys know if that's a job, a business or a venue that you're looking to get into, she got you. Thank you so much. You guys have a great night. We'll see you next week.